Alright, I'm making a tutorial. Why? Two reasons. One, these things get views, and I mean views. And I need views if I'm going to pass my friend and be the first one to 25 subscribers. The second reason is I know a secret way to do 3D that's super easy and simple that nobody ever figured out before. Alright, I'll be showing you guys how to make this 3D tank game. Start by, of course, opening up a new Scratch project. And drop a 3010 nuke on the Scratch Cat. Of course, if for some weird reason you don't have a nuke, deleting the cat works too. And you should probably name the project. I will name it, okay, and of course start with making a sprite. The way we make sprites in this type of 3D is kind of wonky, because instead of just making a tank, we have to make it layer by layer. If you don't understand what I'm doing, I'm sorry, I don't really know how to explain it. I'll try to explain it, but just follow along. So to start, we'll have to make the first basic slice of the tank, which is the bottom of the tread. So you can name it tread, actually tire, and make 2 equal, here, center it here, copy, paste, and slap it onto there. 2 equal tires. These will be the bottom of the tank. Then you can duplicate it by right-clicking. And now we're making the middle section of the tire. So we're going to color it grab a gray. And I just want to add something, a kind of outline. Make sure to pause the video if I'm ever doing anything that's a bit too fast. Now we're going to make the next section of the tank, which is going to be another black outline. So just duplicate the first one and slide it as a third. Then we're going to make the top of the tank. So duplicate, of course, and make them green. If you'd like, I recommend making them bigger. Now we're going to build the midsection. So of course, duplicate your tank top green part, whatever, and we're going to make the body of the tank. So I recommend making a slightly different shade of green, maybe lighter. I'm going to draw a square. This is kind of what your tank will look down from a top-down perspective. And delete the previous things. We're just going to do one more thing, which is the part, I guess the cannon, or whatever comes out of the tank. So just draw that part that comes out of the tank, and then draw one more top by duplicating this green part. Alright, that probably made no sense, and I'm sorry, but it'll all start making sense now, hopefully. We'll start by grabbing the pen extension, just click on that, and once you have that, I'm going to do when green flag clicked, erase all. Repeat, let's do 3 to start, and a couple things. Switch costume to our first costume, tire. We can actually put that here. Change Y by, let's do 2, we can change that later. And grab this helpful stamp. Well, if we run that, it'll not look at all like anything. So to start, grab this point in direction and do point in direction 120. Now click the green flag, and again, doesn't really look like anything, so hold on. Next, switch costume to, well, duplicate this. Actually, you can get rid of this and just do next costume. If we run the green flag, again, it doesn't look like much, but if you run this in a forever loop, and instead of do point in direction 135, you do point towards mouse pointer. Hold on. Grab a go to 0, 0, and make a block. You can call this whatever you want. But I'll just call it draw. Oh, and one more thing. Right click on draw, edit, and do run without screen refresh. That's very important. Then do when green click forever, draw. Now, still doesn't look like much. So we're going to do 2 things. First off, stop the script. And for the second part right here, instead of repeat 3, do like repeat 6. Let's try it. Again, still doesn't look like much. So go to costumes, and here's the problem. For most things, you're not going to want to have an outline on the stuff. So select these two and just remove the outline. Now it looks a bit more 3D, but if you want to increase the angle, I think you just do this. And there. I mean, it kind of looks 3D, I don't know, but we'll just bear with me here. Duplicate that, set to 3, next costume. There, doesn't that kind of look a little bit like Tank Treads? Duplicate, next costume. Yeah, that looks really nice. Now, this one does have an outline, so we can remove that. But if you think it looks nice, you can keep it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Then next costume, repeat 3. You know what we can actually do? Sorry for all of this. Just grab a repeat, delete all of that except for up to the next costume, and do a repeat. How many costumes do we have? 7. So do a repeat 6. And there. Now we have a fully fledged 3D tank that will look around at your mouse pointer. This is where most videos end about this subject, but I'm going to take it one step further and add a scrolling background using 3D rocks. But before we do that, I just want to make the player tank a tiny bit smaller. So to do that, we'll use a set size. Let's do 50 to make it easy for us. But you'll notice he looks a bit weird. So to fix this, just change the repeat 6 down here to repeat 3. And he should look much better. If you want, I'm going to make it repeat 4. Now keep it repeat 3. This looks nice. Then you can also, I'm going to change this to repeat 2. And boom, the tank is looking snazzy. Now we got to make the 3D rocks. So duplicate the tank. And probably the most important whenever you're making multiple 3D things is get rid of the erase all. Now we're going to change the costumes. So for this, we only need 1. And we'll just make here, let me delete this. And I'm just going to make a gray square. Trust me, it'll look a lot better in 3D. I recommend keeping the outline on for this type of stuff because we're only using 1 costume. And so instead of using this code, change the costume to, we didn't name it. We can call this rock. And we can call this also rock. So switch costume to rock. And then do this repeat like 10. And we'll have a set size to 50 here. And put over here, change size by -2. I guess they're laid on top of each other. So this, go to, change up the numbers. The numbers aren't that important, but look. If the rock looks too steep, I'm going to make it change size by -1. That looks better. Now we're going to make 2 variables. So you know how to make variables. Make variable. The first one will be called scroll X, and for all sprites. The next one, scroll Y, and again for all sprites. But the next one will be called X, and do for this sprite only, and Y for the sprite only. Make sure you're in the rock sprite down there. And you can hide these. And in the tank sprite, you're also going to want to create a new broadcast message. So underneath the draw, we'll write broadcast, and we'll make a new one called scroll. It doesn't really matter the positioning. I think it doesn't work. I think it doesn't change. And going back into the rock and do, when I receive scroll, draw. And you can delete this forever. But also, go to, and this is important, grab 2 minuses, add X here, Y here, scroll X here, and scroll Y here. What this is going to do is we're making scrolling, if you can tell. If you click the green flag, nothing should change. But, also do one click, set X to 0 and set Y to 0. And we can change these to whatever we want. Y -100, and make this positive actually. And this go to, we can eliminate that. Hit the green flag, and that should work. But show the scroll X, for example. Double click until it's a slider. It'll move. It'll do some moving.
What we can do with this now is go to the tank, and over here write some if-then scripts. This will be motion. So if key right arrow pressed, change scroll X by 5. And duplicate that, left arrow, change scroll X by -5. We can duplicate this again, switch these out for up arrow, these for down arrow, and switch these for scroll Y. Now, using the arrow keys, we could move the tank around. Of course, that's kind of weird. Not exactly sure how to fix that, but I'll get to that later. It kind of looks like the tank is moving, but I don't know. You can now move around the. Oh, one more thing. When we clicked, set scroll X to 0 and set scroll Y to 0. That way, the tank will always right here. Now we're gonna go to backdrops. This is just fun to do. I want to make a green grass in the background. And for the rock, we're actually going to transform everything into clones, but it won't be that hard because we've already done most of the work using broadcast messages. So add a hide to the green flag and repeat 3. Create clone myself, and we're actually going to use pick randoms to make random position maps. You don't have to use them if you want to do specific positions, but I find it just easier to do pick randoms. And drag in a one star as a clone, and we can just plop in a show. Running the script, you'll see that we can move around the map, but some things are wrong. First of all, they're all pointing to the mouse pointer, and second, they're clipping on the edges of the screen. Both of these problems are fixable. So simply go to costumes and make an invisible box. If you don't know how to do this, just select the fill to be none and the outline to also be none. Zoom out and make a giant box around everything. And amazingly, that should fix it. To fix the rotation, simply just add in a point in direction 90 in the draw script. Or if you want to make it a little bit more fun, when I started as a clone, point in direction, and we can do pick random 1 to 360. And boom, now you can walk around the map, and there will be assorted rocks. And if you want more rocks, just change this number. Now there are 10 rocks. I want to make the tank movement script just a bit more good. And I'll do this 2 ways. First, I want to have the turret move separately from the tank, and I want the tank to move more like a tank. So to do this, first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this point towards mouse pointer. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to put it, so repeat 3 here, and another repeat 3, duplicate this, and put the point towards the mouse pointer here. Put into the draw script, and everything is mostly the same. But I'm also going to put point direction 90 here, and I'm also going to make one more variable for the sprite only. OGDir, and for the sprite only. What this will do will be save the positions of the direction, so it can be added later. We'll set OGDir to direction, and then here, point towards mouse pointer, then at the very end, point in direction. OGDir. If you run the script, some things will happen. Most notably, there's a big square here, and that is actually the actual sprite. And this can be removed simply by going here and set ghost effect to 100, and at the very end, clear graphic effects. Sorry, I got that backwards. There. Now, we're also going to do the right and left arrows, replace them with turn 15 degrees and turn 15 degrees. For the up arrow, we're actually going to do something fun, which is we're going to recreate the actual code of what the move block does using variables. So just follow along carefully. We're going to add multipliers, and then grab this block, says abs of, set it to cosine, and duplicate, put it down here, and for the y, it'll be, for the top one, for scroll left, it will be sine. Of add direction to both of these, and over here, we can choose how fast we want the tank to move. Let's just do 3. And we can duplicate these, and make them negative for the down arrow. Now, by clicking the green flag, you can move around with directions. I'm going to make these a bit slower, just be 5 and 5. And you can move around like this. Very fun, very good. Now we're going to make projectiles, so you can shoot bullets. How we're going to do this? New sprite. Call it bullet, and we'll just make a simple red circle. You can add an outline, slap into the center, and do when green flag clicked, forever, if, key space pressed, create clone myself, and then wait 0.1 seconds. When I start as a clone, go to tank, point towards mouse pointer, also do show for the when I start the clone, and hide for the green flag. And here, do repeat until sensing, touching, edge, and move 10 steps. And then, of course, included the delete as well. Now, by clicking the green flag, if you click space, you can shoot bullets as you walk around. And if you hold, you can shoot streams. And if you don't want to be that much, change the weight to be like 0.5. That's much better. Make it faster, you can change this, 15, and now the tank will shoot. One feature I think looks fun. You don't have to add it, but I like doing it in the tank sprite. Right where you put the point towards mouse pointer, do minus 10 steps. But if, only if, key space is pressed. Now, shooting kind of adds a recoil. You'll notice one key difference between the game I showed you at the start of the video and the game I taught you guys how to make is the first one had tanks. And I'll show you guys how to make tanks if this video gets enough people in the comments saying, yeah, this game was fun. Let's make a part 2 with. So I'll make a part 2 if you guys comment down below that you want one, and if it gets enough content. Thanks for watching. See you guys.